big congratulations to everyone who took the August LSAT and got your scores back today. I hope that you crushed it. If you did, congratulations. It's time for you to switch gears and focus on your application essays instead. Most law schools open their applications September 1st or September 15th, and so you've still got a little bit of time to finalize those and get them done. And then, of course, if you are not yet done with the LSAT and you're considering a retake, you've got a couple LSAT test dates coming up. You have the September LSAT just a week or so away. I'm guessing that if you're watching this video, you already know whether you're taking the September LSAT or not. Coming up after that, we have the October and November LSATs. Next, for this calendar year, we have the October LSAT roughly 5 weeks away, and the November LSAT roughly 2.5 months away. Whichever of those LSATs you take, either way, it's perfectly early in the cycle. The November LSAT is not too late. Even the January and February LSATs would also totally be fine, and law schools won't really care if you took the LSAT in August or September or October or November. It's all the same to them. They are not evaluated based on when you took the LSAT. They are simply evaluated based on the highest LSAT score of their matriculating students. What this means for you is that you should consider strongly whether 5 weeks will be enough time for you to achieve your fullest potential on the LSAT if you were to take it in October, or would you benefit from having an additional month or so by taking the LSAT in November instead. November LSAT gives you 2.5 months from today to put in more time, and imagining now, of course, that there's no more logic games on the test, of course, you now have a second score logical reasoning section. Could you benefit from focusing all that effort on logical reasoning? If you were to focus all that time on logical reasoning for the next 2.5 months, and any gains you make on the logical reasoning section are automatically doubled across the two sections in terms of deepening your understanding, that additional month of prep might be well worth the additional time in your schedule. And of course, at LSAT Unplugged, we've changed our courses radically over the course of 2024. We're moving logic games, putting a lot of additional focus in our live classes and our one-on-one coaching programs on the logical reasoning section of the test. And we're seeing students get significant score increases in just a month or two of dedicated focus on this section. We're seeing a lot of students who are benefiting from that additional focus since they no longer need to study logic games, of course, and know that law schools, of course, will not care whether you took the LSAT in April or June earlier this year with logic games, or in August, September, October, November, and so on with logical reasoning, the second logical reasoning section. And so think about the fact that even though the August LSAT may not have gone your way with the second score logical reasoning section, you've still got 1, 2, 3 months or more to go for that LSAT retake and give all that additional effort you might have spent earlier this year on logic games into the logical reasoning section of the test. And law schools won't care whether you took it in April or June with games, or August, September, October, November, and beyond with logical reasoning. If you'd like my help preparing for an LSAT retake in September, October, November, or beyond, you can check out the links below this video to find out more and to book a call with me and my team. We'd be glad to help you out. And if you are focusing on your application essays now, know that while law schools have created lots of new optional essay prompts, now that they are no longer asking about racial diversity on their applications due to last year's Supreme Court decision banning race-based affirmative action, there may be more essays for you to write, but that is not a reason to apply to fewer schools, because the more schools you apply to, the more options you'll have, the more scholarship negotiation leverage you'll have. It's well worth that additional focus on the application essays when the time comes. If you're done with the LSAT, of course, it makes sense to switch gears to the application essays, but if you are considering that retake, focus on the LSAT for now. It is the biggest factor in the admissions process. You can always deal with your app essays later. Anyway, folks, that's all for now. In the meantime, I'll wish you all the